All right. So we are here in Red Belt Podcast with Troy. How we doing, Troy?
I'm doing good.
Okay. So I met Troy through coaching groups a really long time ago. I want to say like 8 or 9 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, so tell us a little bit about yourself, Troy.
Um, Lifetime martial artist. I've had my school since 87, you know, and I do stunt work. I guess that might be interesting.
So tell us about your school.
Okay. I started it in my garage in 87. 88, I got a building, got to 100 students really fast, wasn't making a whole lot of money, went to different mentoring ships and learned things along the way, and now I'm not in my school very much. I go in on Monday and Wednesdays during the day to teach, and about every other Thursday to teach my staff. And I'm at home at night.
That's good. So if you don't mind saying about how many students, about what sort of revenue you do. I
Um,
know it's astronomical,
oh
but
no. Right now we're down. We're about 387, and we're sitting between 60 to 70 grand a month. It is down this year though.
okay.
We were hitting 80. It's election year.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's down. So you were close to 1 million a year
Oh yeah.
in reoccurring, and you're a little under, and you basically you're ultra part-time in the school.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because like last year I was on a movie for 4 months. So I was gone for 4 months.
Yep. So you disappear. I disappeared for um to do red belt, and like I went overseas to focus on my software for 4.5 months too.
Yeah.
School is about the same. So
Yeah.
same thing, that you've got the school at a level that if you are more or less hands off for 4.5 months, whatever, it doesn't really matter.
No,
That things are okay.
no.
That's not why you're having a down year. It's more,
It's the election year.
yeah,
It's the
economy.
economy.
Yeah.
Yeah. People, it's tougher getting signups. I mean, we're still getting them, but it's tougher. People are worried about the economy right now.
Yeah.
No matter who you want to be president, people are worried about the economy right now.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, what's interesting is it's like there's like a bell curve of people I talk to, that at the very bottom, people think it's like the president and it's like everything's out of their control. And then in the middle, it's like it doesn't seem to matter. And then at the top, it's like, hey, it is having an impact. It's not as much as people think. You can still be super successful
You
either way.
can.
I
You
mean,
can.
billion-dollar companies were made in the Great Depression, so we can
Yep.
for sure make a living on a bad recession-y year. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Economics are real. It does make
Yeah.
a difference.
And that's what your new people, the people you got, they still have money. They're still paying. They still upgrade. We still get our legacy membership, which is 10 grand. And, we'll do 5 or 6 of those a year.
When do you do those? You do that as a certain month, or you do them whenever, or how does that work?
Do
Yeah.
them during the low months. So generally the legacies start in April, the tax season, because
Mhm.
April is usually a low month for us. May's usually good. And then I only do 2% of my active count. So we only give so many away.
Mhm.
And then when they're gone, they're gone. So sometimes they're gone right away. This year we've sold 3. We still have, what do we do? I think we have 6 more.
Okay, so in other words, you start them and it's not just 1 month. They're at a certain date you open them, and then until they're all gone, they're available, or how does that work?
Yeah, so legacies start in April. We decide how many we're going to do. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Okay.
So yeah,
So there's not like a cutoff time on
no, no.
so it could go all the way to next
And
day.
it depends on the year. I mean, we would sell out in 2 months. Now it's tight on money. So I think it'll go to the end of the year. We'll probably do our last ones in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do that sell as a Black Friday sell, or
Yeah.
a Black Summer, or like different dates. But what they do is they a lot of people narrow it to a day or a weekend or a week.
So
They only
we,
sell them, they hype it and whatever. So you don't
so
like,
we do that, but that's not the legacy. So
mm.
that's a 2-year program. So it's a 2-year paid in full, discounted 25%. We do that in Christmas in July and November. They're the 2 months we do that. The legacy is hand talked to. Legacy is a 5-year program. It's 10 grand. After the 5 years, it's $99 a year. So it's just a way to generate money. It was a way to generate money in April, which is a bad month. So yeah. So if they're gone, they're gone. We don't sell any more than the 2% of our active count.
So 2% of the active counts you said for you this year was how many? 8 or?
Yeah, we did 8. We've sold 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you're pretty sure you'll sell the 8 this year?
Oh yeah.
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 So that's an extra 80K.
Yeah.
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 Those are, so that's one thing that I have a lot of the processes going pretty well at my school. I've never really had good systems personally. I also haven't spent a lot of effort on it, but like to do that sort of thing. People call it different things, legacy,
Yeah.
lifetime paid in full. You
Yeah.
probably shouldn't
Well,
call it a lifetime paid in full because
yeah.
of legal reasons. Uh,
Yep. Yeah.
I know
As,
exactly what you're doing with the 5 year and
yeah.
whatever, because depending on your state, many of them you can get away with 5 years. That's like the maximum without being bonded and all sorts of ridiculous
And,
stuff.
yeah. And also, what if they quit at 3 years? How much is it? Somebody gets hurt, you got to give them money back. Something like that happens. 5 years easy to figure out. Lifetime, how do you figure out lifetime? So it is a lifetime. It's only $99 a year after the 5 years. But
Right.
we know most students don't stay 5 years. And if they do, it's the best deal.
Yeah, well, that's an excellent deal because all
Yeah.
of us watching that are high ranks or black belts that own a school, we spend a lot more than that most likely on our training.
Oh yeah. Oh
10K.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's not.
No.
I couldn't even. I'd have to think about it to try and even guess, but it's way more than 10K.
Oh yeah.
Not even counting business or instructor training or anything like
And
that.
just going in.
Just martial arts training, just student
Yeah.
martial arts training.
Yeah.
It's way more than that. So yeah, it's a great deal if you're actually going to do it and you can come up with the money. Yeah,
Yep.
of course.
And
Even if
and
it
we'll
was priced a little higher, it would be.
yeah. Yeah. We split it out. We try not to, but we will split it out over a couple months if we have to. So a
Oh,
lot of people put it on their credit card.
yeah. So
Then
by
there's
split it
no.
out, you mean you're like, okay, cool, we'll do 5K this month, and in 30 days I'll bill you the other 5K.
Another 5K.
That helps
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Helps you. Yeah.
Yeah.
With I haven't done it with these, but I used to do paid in fulls that way as an option, right?
Yeah.
Half now and half in a month, and I stopped because I didn't like that there was a decent percentage of people that would default on the second one. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
like building so much anxiety of that big of a payment coming out the second time. It's
Yeah.
like, nah, either do the whole thing or just do a regular down payment and have monthlies or weeklies or something.
Yeah.
Have you had similar experiences? Do you do that
Yeah.
with
We just,
regular?
for our normal, like normally we have a year. So when you sign up at my school, you've got 3 choices. You got a paid in full, you got $399 down, and then you got $199 down. And that decides what your monthly is going to be. And then again, we want 20% paid in fulls, but we don't split them. If we do split them, it's split within the same month. So it's now and then 2 weeks later. We won't do month to the next month because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Default on.
I will say that if you were doing it for like renewals, you might do better with that. But for new students, I was like, why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
Because it seems like I'm just throwing away students because they're like using it as a way to get out in a month, like in their mind. It's like, oh, I'm not sure. Like in their head, they're like reconfirming if they want to do it in a month. And that's like one of the hard pieces where people quit anyway. So I'm like, I'm not trying to cause a
It's
quit.
that first that first 100 days is the scary part. You got to
Yeah.
handhold them through it, and you're taking away that money thing. They've already paid it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
Yeah.
whole point of the paid in full,
Yeah.
or a big piece of the point of the paid in full.
Yeah.
So what do you, since you bring that up, some people say 90 days, some people say 100 days. Most people agree it's something like that is
Mhm.
where most of the students quit, especially if you
Especially
have
adults.
ridiculously good systems, right?
Especially adults. Yeah. Kids are different. Adults, yeah, it's that 3 month mark.
Mhm.
You know, you got to get them past that.
So do you have particular systems in place to do that?
Uh, so I think we still struggle with it. Last I checked, for martial arts, our loss rate is at 3%. For our adult program, we're at like 8-9%. It's a lot higher. But we have 1 month we send cards out, a postcard. 1 month we call, say, hey man, you're doing great in class. Just wanted to let you know how good you're doing in class. Just those little touches.
You mean every by 1 month, you mean 1 month a year? You mean alternating
No,
1 month?
quarter. Yeah, we do an email, we do a postcard, we do a phone call. Email, postcard, phone call.
So
Don't
every
hold me
three
to the,
months?
yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. Does it happen? Postcards usually end up going 2 months. Phone calls go 2 months. Yeah. Just to get through everybody.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, that's a retention strategy, and you're calling everyone, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So not people just in their 100 days, not people
Nope.
declining
Everyone.
or not declining.
No,
So
everyone. But in the first 100 days, we have what I call our 246 calls. Used to be phone calls. Now it could be a text. Now it could be when you walk into class talking to you in person. Hey, how's class going? Are you enjoying it? Second one, man, I see you doing great in class. Hey, did you get your equipment package? They buy equipment, they're staying. So we have a beginning package, and then let's get you in some upgrade. Let's get you some better gloves. And then the third one, hey man, it's been 3 months. You're getting coming up on your first stripe test. Can we, are you comfortable and ready to go? So that's every 2 weeks, 2, 4, 6 is supposed to
how
happen.
yeah, how do you
Yeah.
organize that to keep that happening?
It's within our CRM,
Okay.
but it has to happen, but it's in our CRM, two
Yeah,
weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks.
and Red Belt CRM can do it too if
Yeah.
you pay attention to it. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that. So we also do staff reminders. You can even tell Red Belt to text or email your staff based
Yeah.
on something.
Yeah.
But so is that how you do it? You
Mhm.
email your staff? Do you have like something on the dashboard? Like what are you using? Because you could set it all up in our software, different softwares
Well,
do it different ways, but like which one do you prefer?
my manager does that. So I
Okay.
really can't tell you how she's doing it. I
Okay.
know it's in there, but I know she's saying, hey, today we're doing this. Today we're calling today. But then when somebody joins, they get an appointment at 2, 4, 6. And
So
that
you're
appointment's got to
setting an
get,
appointment in the appointment
yes,
calendar.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
At 246.
At 2, 4, 6.
And is there appointment like before and after class time, or is it separate?
It can be whatever they want. It can be a phone call, a text, in person.
Okay, so their appointment they're setting
Yes.
could be an over the phone appointment
Yes.
or a
Could
text
be.
appointment.
Or a text.
Okay.
Yeah. Or
That's
talk to them
different
when
because
they,
what we tried is we tried to schedule in-person appointments. It's been hard.
I lost
Um,
you.
because it's like get people in
Sound went
before
away.
or after. It's just so chaotic. So you don't care about that? I can't hear you anymore.
There, back.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. I missed it. Go ahead. Tell me what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah. So the we were trying to do something similar but with in-person ones, and we had a hard time. So you're
Yeah.
scheduling appointments as text or email or phone call follow-ups. And so
Yeah.
do you even give them an option as of an in-person follow-up, or
Yeah. They can.
so
Yeah.
you
So
ask
start to,
them?
It's talked about on our Monday meeting. And when you sign up, how do you like to be communicated with? So do you want to, so we have our, our group, want to communicate on Facebook, you want to text, you want a phone call. How would you want to be communicated with? My age, I want to be on the phone. Nobody wants to be on the phone anymore. They want text. So, yeah.
So for the check-in, if they're saying like, hey, I want to meet in person, you'll meet in person with the check-in?
Yep.
Okay.
And a lot of times they'll look at it and going, man, I didn't get on the phone call. I'm going to talk to them when they come in. So we just pull them off to the side and have a little conversation with them. How's things going? You have any questions?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think this stuff is super, super important, getting this dialed in on the retention.
And yeah, people don't realize retention is number one. If you have a retention rate up at 9-10%, you're just replacing your school and spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
You've got to get down below 5.
Yeah, I agree. And so many people don't know what it is, or when they dial in, it's like maybe it was low when they had 20 students.
Yeah, it's easy
And they
then.
got a little bit more. And
When you
then
hit
like all of
400,
a sudden they're at 100 students and they can't grow no matter what their marketing is doing,
yeah,
because they're enrolling 15 students, but their churn's 15%.
yeah,
Right? And so they're just at 100 students forever.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that is the one thing people don't try to fix. And I think that's a lifetime thing you're constantly working on.
Yeah.
Is retention.
Well, people take that so personal because they don't mind asking for help with marketing. Everybody thinks they need help getting leads. They don't mind asking because that's not their ego hit, because they don't identify as a guy that's good at running a business or marketing. When they say, we're like, oh, students are leaving, they're like, oh man, I'm not even willing to admit that because I'm amazing. That must be somebody else's fault. Oh,
It's
nobody
time, yeah,
leaves here. People tell me that all the time. Oh yeah, nobody leaves my school. Oh,
yeah.
and
How big are
you
you?
you
Yeah,
sign up 10 people a month. Oh,
yeah,
and you've been in business for 10 years. It's like,
yeah.
well, where's your 10,000 students? So however that
Students.
math works.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
where are all the students? It's like, well, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
how many you have? 100? It's like, oh no. Well, based on the math, you said you had 120 on the first year and
Yeah.
240 the
There's
second year. And it's like, no one leaves, right? You've got the
no,
magical place that no one
yeah,
leaves.
yeah.
Moves at your place, everybody's
Nobody's going to tell
frozen
you
in
their
time.
classes suck. Nobody's going to tell you their classes suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean, you
not
look
only
at
will they tell you, they don't believe it. Maybe a
yeah,
couple people think that and won't say it, but I think that this is a passion-based business and people think everyone thinks they're the best. And the people that don't even consider that they could be better are usually in the bottom piece of that.
yeah.
But that's most people. And I mean, there's all sorts of different categories to being great. Like your technique, like I know people in jiu-jitsu that are phenomenal and terrible coaches. And then there's people that are
Oh
like
yeah,
good at teaching it also, and good at jiu-jitsu, but their classes aren't good. Right. So
yeah.
you're good at people don't realize, well, how if I'm great at jiu-jitsu and good at teaching the technique, how can my classes not be good? Well, how it's organized, how you break down for beginners, if it's fun, like all sorts of things. Are you
They
giving
get
people three touch
yeah,
points?
and half the time they get ego and try to teach too much.
Yeah.
Let me teach you this really cool move. Well, you're not ready for this yet. Let's go back to basics. You know, which is hard because you got to have a beginning class. You got it.
Yeah, and that's real hard when you're starting up. And
Yeah,
if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't have a beginning class because I have 20 students, I agree, right? Because you don't want an empty class either. So for a long time, I didn't have one. I got lots of beginner classes now, but I didn't, right? Because I'm not gonna have if my mat's close to empty, I'm not gonna split that class.
yeah.
So that's just hard. And especially since most people don't know marketing at the beginning to accelerate it.
And then you can keep your beginners safe.
Yeah.
Because the number one reason they're not going to tell you they got scared, they got overwhelmed. They're just going to disappear. Like in kickboxing, then sparring is a point where you start losing people. So don't just throw them into spar them, handhold them. Don't let them just free roll. Let them build up to to that limited, limited rules, so you don't lose them. But it's hard when you get 20-year-olds. you know,
Man,
20-year-olds
it's
are full
my
of gumption.
perspective of this has changed so much over the years because I mean, as most of us came up when we started, how it worked is like your first day, it was just
You're thrown on the floor.
yeah, you rolled your first day in
You
kickboxing.
start
You
tapping.
probably kickboxed hard your first day, all
Yeah.
that, and
Oh
like
yeah.
I was hurt my first month of training. I got my
Yeah.
humerus bone broken my first month of training.
Oh, see, yeah. It's a
And
miracle you
but
kept training,
most people don't come back, and
Yeah.
it's probably a greater indication of your sanity not to come back after that, right? So I happened to come
Yeah.
back, but most people didn't, right? And so um, we went through all that, but now to say, okay, well, that's not the most efficient way. So what is like how much training should somebody have? People have different opinions on that. How should that be done? How can you make the classes not boring and people quit first while keeping people safe? And how do you not make like that piece where then everybody's good and then everybody just quits because now they're accustomed to being it too easy and then you throw them like how do you do all that stuff?
Yeah. Our beginning class is 3 months long. Then they're thrown into the normal class.
Mm-hmm.
So for 3 months, they're learning etiquette, control, and it's more about building a culture. And then they're thrown in. And then free is after, so they don't even have to stay for the free grappling. So we'll drill. They don't have to stay for the free grappling or
You mean
free
after their
kickboxing.
3 months when they moved it into the next class, they still don't have to do rolling, is what you're saying?
No, no, not till they're comfortable. Kickboxing, I would like to be a year, to be honest. So we've just implemented it's a year with the children. They won't be free sparring for a year. They'll be limited sparring, jab sparring.
Yeah.
You got jab kick, but no free sparring. Adults is hard. We let adults, and then you just when they come, and the deal is like that first month is the 100 days, but then you kind of got to start them over when they go into the next class, you
Yeah.
know. And we were talking about implementing another 246 call thing. Hey, now you're in this. Now you're in actually in our basic class. How are you feeling? But with adults, it's hard.
Do you have like a person at your gym that their job is to do this 2-4, like that they're a retention person, that they're
No,
they're zeroed in? You don't?
no, I have a manager that works full time, and then she sets up. Hey, you're gonna because who's teaching the class? What class are they in? That's the person I want to make that call.
Okay.
Not my front desk manager.
Okay.
So because she's in there during the day. You know how it is hard. Most of our instructors walk in and teach. So we have instructors training on Thursday. They have to come to. Then every quarter we have a full day, sometimes 2 day training. But
Yeah, and
it's
that's the
hard.
thing that instructors walk in to teach, or they're doing other stuff where they're hard to be available,
Yeah.
things like that. So, like, how do you get all those guys to do the follow-up calls?
So that manager's got to have coming in. You need to call this person. The manager's got to be on it.
Right. And so,
Managers
in
know
other
you're
words, they're
teaching
going to
them.
come in before or after their class.
Yeah, they come in early and do the phone calls.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how long of a phone call session would they have at a time? Like an hour?
Short. It depends on you. I mean, do you have an issue? Do you have a problem? Usually they're really short.
I mean, like, so you're going to call one person? Like, how much
Five,
you're going
five
to call
people.
five people
Mhm.
a day?
Five people.
Like every day?
Everybody's every day somebody's calling five people, whether it's a 246 call, man, you're doing awesome in class, you know. So every day we'll call five people.
So that means that um
Unless
five.
it's a calling, when it's the month where we call everybody's got to call somebody.
Okay.
But if it's one, it's just one person calling five people a day.
So it's only one member of your
Yeah.
staff doing it.
Yeah, just
So I
because my
would
staff can't. I have young staff, they're busy or they have other jobs and they're coming in to teach. You
right.
know,
And what
yeah,
what I was thinking is that 5 times 30 is 150
yeah,
students that you can make. However, that's no weekends. So 5 times 20, if you're only doing
We do six Monday through Saturday.
Okay. That's only 100 people. So 100 to 150 people you can get called if you do
Yeah.
5 a day.
Yeah.
Um, and that's assuming when you attempt to call 5 people. So what you're saying, 5 pickups. So if they don't answer, you got to pick up you got to call another person, or it's
No,
5
five,
attempts.
we want at least five. If they can get more, they get more. It's only like 15 minutes long.
Okay.
So it doesn't take long. Half of them are no pickups, so it could be a text. So if you said to me you want to be communicated by text, it could be a text. Hey, Brian, we're at 2 weeks. Want to know if you have any questions, how things going? Just real short, just so we're communicating. We're trying to create that communication.
Okay. I mean, I like that a lot.
Yeah, it can be a phone call, it can be a text, not email. Nobody answers email.
yeah.
Used to be good. Gmail's not anymore.
Yeah.
Still got to do it, but yeah,
Yeah. Well, that can be automated. I
yeah,
mean, you can check the box, but I mean, I'm a huge fan of still with somebody that owns a software company and really likes automation. I still think the personal touch has to be here.
yeah. For
If
retention, it has to.
Yeah, for retention, yes.
Yeah,
You can use automation somewhat, but like the automation's more role to me, is these other softwares are trying to take away everything. I think the software's role is helping you as a complement rather than removing the employee from it.
yeah,
Is to help the employee know when these times are so that they can still provide the personal touch. Huge fan
yeah.
of that. I talked to about a similar thing with the previous guest as well. Josh Fry was saying
Josh,
the
love
same.
Josh. Yeah, yeah.
So
So
what
another thing to make sure your school's growing is try to do plus 500 in billing every month. So if you know how many you lost last month, how much money was that? How many students do you have to sign up plus 500? And if you do plus 500 in billing every month, that's 12 grand a year,
that you're
you
growing.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So looking at that number, and that's a retention thing too, if I'm losing 10 now, plus 500 could only be 2 to 3 students, depending what you charge, you know,
2 or 3 students more than you lost though.
more than what you lost. You got to make up what you lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
So
loss that can vary a lot month to month.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
that was, I think, from Alan Belcher. I
yeah.
got that from Alan. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is great. And it sounds good. It's like, hey, cool, excellent. So same
Mhm.
way that I heard a long time ago by a sales guy, like how they got $1 million a year. That's like, okay, cool. I just didn't check out until I divided 1 million divided by 365, and I didn't go home until I
So you
sold.
made that.
Okay, sounds good, but
Yeah.
how do we do it, right? So exactly how do we execute getting um just
So,
like we just make up that number, right? That we want
and,
this.
and then you got to have systems in place. So we'll whatever our sign up goal is, you should be getting 5 to 6 referrals a month. But you got to ask for them, or you got to have a system in place that referrals happen. Um, a lot of people don't. They just, so we'll ask for referrals,
How do
then
you do
marketing.
that? How do you do
We
that?
have contests. We have monthly contests. So right now we're giving away a solo stove. It's one of them smokeless stoves.
Mhm.
They get it at the end of June. You bring a friend to class, you get 5 tickets. And then we announce that in every class. And then also let them know you have goals. Say, hey guys, we're this far away from a number. We want, get your students involved. Don't make it too big. If you got 100 students, man, we want to get to 125. We need your help. Can you invite your friends? And hey, what's better in training in martial arts than training with your friends? The problem is once they've been with you for a while, they've told all their friends and they're tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
So it's got to be at the beginning, you know.
So
Um,
so you do that. In other words, you do that not just in classes. You do it like in person with the 246 or
we'll do it when you sign up. So when
okay.
you sign up, um, we have referral bonuses. So if you get normally it's $50 if you get a friend, plus you get your name in. but we would have a thing, give us 5 names of your friends. I'm gonna let you talk to them. When they come in, if they come in to sign up, I'm gonna double that bonus to $100. So at sign up, we'll get, 5. I know a guy that was getting like 20 and 30, but, but you got to walk away. Say, Brian, I know you just signed up. That's great. Hey, we have a referral contest. Normally give you $50, but here, what I'm doing, I'm going to double that. Here's a list of 5 names. Hey, let me go get your gloves or your gi, and I'm going to come right back. You got to leave them alone. They'll write down the name and number, then tell them, hey, I'm not going to call them until you let them know that I'm going to be calling them. Next time you stay in class, hey, did you let them know I'll be calling them? And hey, man, Brian just gave you 2 free weeks of classes. When schedule that appointment. But you
Yeah,
got to walk away. If you sit there, you won't get them.
yeah.
You have to have a reason to leave them alone. But it's got to be after they've signed. Make sure they've signed the contract, then walk away. I'm going to go get your gi. I'm going to do something.
Yeah, I like that. So these little bitty, just like in martial arts, the little bitty adjustments is usually the little things are the big things.
Yeah.
And same thing here. It's like little bitty steps, things like this is one reason we keep bringing different guests and stuff on, because it's like everybody's like, oh yeah, referral contest. I mean, of course, but
Yes.
how? Like, so that small tweak. It's like, hey, if
Yeah.
you don't leave them alone, I don't even know if I've heard that particular thing before, and I've heard a lot of different stuff.
Oh,
So,
well, cool.
well,
It's not
about like
mine.
leaving them.
Yeah, I actually got it from, I believe his name's Klingemeyer, Kirk Klingemeyer. And one of the events talked about how he got his referrals. And he said it's how Jim's did it. So, but they don't, so we get $50, but if
I'm
some
familiar with having them
we
write
double.
down names, like everything else you said, other than that it's important to not be there
Yes, you
when
have to leave them
you,
alone or you don't get none. You
yeah.
get zero. You've got to give them a reason to be alone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. It makes sense to me. When you say it, I can visualize it helping, because
Yeah.
it's like you're either going to talk or bring their attention away, or you're going to like have an awkward pressure for them to be doing it or whatever. Like, so
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
can, since you bring it up, I can kind of visualize in my head why it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. You got to walk
I've
away.
heard the general thing minus that over and over, but that I can see how that somebody might
Yeah.
intuitively do it, but that's
Yeah.
good. I like
Yeah.
that.
And then, you got to market. And I think it depends where you live. Facebook, we do paid ads, but you got to have a good organic site or your paid ads aren't going to do you any good. I did have a person doing it for me. I took it back. I'm doing better on my own because I can change the ad and change the pictures faster. Um, you got, and then, oh, we do snipe signs. Snipe signs do really well.
Like
Yeah.
the yard signs just put
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Put them everywhere. But you got to pull them. So going into summer, we post them up for summer. And then in June, we're pulling them because if they see them all the time, they'll quit seeing them. Beginning of the school year, new year, you put them out. And it
That's
depends where you live. I mean, like
that's
we're okay.
interesting that you say pull them, because
Yes.
at least where I am, you don't have to pull them because signs disappear in 2 weeks. Like the city, the universe,
Yeah.
however,
Yeah. They
they just
disappear.
disappear.
I know people that live in places that are illegal. So they put them out Saturday morning and pick them up Sunday morning because the enforcer doesn't work. So
To
they'll
try.
put 50 of them out going, and they're cheap. I think we paid 250 and it's dwindling. So we're gonna have to order new ones probably beginning of the school year. But yeah,
That's so interesting that you're pulling them to be able to salvage them.
yeah,
Um, but
yeah.
yeah, I
And
mean,
people,
I've never salvaged a sign before. If we put a sign up, it's just
and we're
like,
not doing to salvage them. We're doing it because people have seen them. So
yeah.
we'll either move them to another spot, the ones that are left,
Mhm.
because they do disappear,
Yeah.
or we put them up until the next one. So we tried to make them generic. The mistake we made is we made them summer special. So when we pulled them, they were no good for back to school. So we had to order more. So now ours are pretty generic. I mean, it's $4 for a month of lessons. Martial arts, $4 for a month of lessons. So, and we do ad cards. Ad cards don't work till you get in about 100 businesses, though. Once you get in 100 businesses, you start seeing those coming in. And then ours are two-sided, adult on one side, kids on the other.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
rack cards. Get a
Yeah,
little
back
right.
cards, exactly what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got those. I'm not in 100 businesses. I still get some results. I'm in
Yeah. You add 100 businesses, you start really seeing it. You start getting a regular flow in. And I'll be honest, we do really, really good with booths.
booths. Yeah,
Booths. We
us
kill
too.
it with booths. Yeah. Yeah. And we're setting the appointment at the booth. So we take a bob out, punch it so much, and if you can punch it so much in 20 seconds, you win 2 free weeks. And he's got a t-shirt on the bob. Got one of the Century bobs.
I
Yeah.
like that. So you're doing a game there. That's for adults or kids?
Both.
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 How how
Depending on
mu-
the booth.
how many
Depending on
times
the
you
booth.
got? How many times you got to punch it in 2 minutes? And do you give them gloves to do that?
No, no, we have them hit and they just I don't know. I'd have to look at the t-shirt. I forgot. I think it's 20 times. I think it's one a second. They've got to hit it 20 times in 20 seconds or something like that. I don't know. It's
So they
short.
got a T-shirt they get for doing that too? Or
No, no.
okay.
They get 2 free weeks, but we schedule the appointment right then and there.
I
Now
like
they will get
uh,
it. They do
yeah.
get a free t-shirt when they come in. So we get their size. We'll have a t-shirt. Because like, I don't know about you, our show rate dropped.
Yes.
So it has like appointment show rate has dropped. It's been harder. So now our phone call is before. Man, Brian, looks like, yeah, you a medium t-shirt? Great. I'm gonna have your t-shirt here for you, waiting for you when you come in. So our call to confirm the day before or text. When I say call, it could be a text. Yeah. I'm old. I'm old.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that too. So I've had for kids or whatever, we've got little wheels, we've got little different things for booths. We do a decent amount of booths. And once again, people are like, it takes so much time. Well, you're doing what I'm doing, is you're hiring somebody to do this, right?
Yeah.
And so it's
And the
just
hitting the bag is fast. We used to do a lesson and
yes.
these people were walking by. Now it's walk up here, the bag, boom, boom. Okay, go. Here's a timer, and you get everybody cheering. And then we'll have a line. And then they move over, and then somebody's making the appointment while then this person's getting ready to hit.
Yeah, that's
So
outstanding.
yeah.
Um
And
I
we'll set, I mean, we'll set 50 appointments on a weekend at a booth.
oh we sometimes we will too.
Yeah.
Uh
But the
most
show
of them
rate's
don't
low.
show.
Show
Yeah.
rate's low. Yeah.
That's what we were about to say. That
Yeah. Show rate is low.
with that particular means of acquiring them, show rates are a little
It's a
even
little low.
lower. Yep.
But as long as I have their name and number, I'm marketing to them until they tell me to quit marketing to
Yep.
them. Yeah.
I
So
definitely think having because I mean I'm a huge fan of the paid advertising, Facebook, Google, those
you
things.
got it.
However,
Yeah.
I get real nervous when it's like all my students come from Facebook. I'm like, yeah, because they could change that stuff at any time.
Yeah.
So
It's not as good as it used to.
nope,
It's not. No.
not good. It's still pretty solid, but it's
Yeah.
not nearly as good and cheap as it used to be. And I'm a huge fan of like different approaches. So stuff like that with different, like having different types of marketing, having your
Yeah.
referrals, having your in-person booths. Um,
Bringing a
yeah.
reason to bring a buddy to the school, having a self-defense class, a reason to bring somebody in,
Do
give
you
them that
do a lot
reason.
of events, self-defense class? Like, is that like a weekend thing?
With the kids, we do a lot of carnivals because we found
Repeat that. You do a lot of
we
what?
carnivals.
Carnival. What is
So
a
we have
carnival and how do you do
they're,
one at your school?
they're going to come in, they're going to have a little teeny class that's really short. Then they're going to hit the bump and jump. So it's more about the games, face painting. They're there for an hour, then the next group comes in. It's a short class, and it's a lot more about fun than martial arts.
Almost like one of the birthday style things, only you just, how often
Yep.
do you do them? You just do them for a community?
Well, like we'll do. We just got done with a safety fair with the police department and police fire truck came. We always have a bump and jump. And then we do a little teeny class and they get to go see the cop and get in the cop car and get in the fire truck and stuff like that.
Cool.
And
That
then
that's at a different location or at your location?
at our location,
Okay. And you
they
just
come.
got the police and fire department to come
Mhm.
out?
Yeah, they'll come out and do it. Now they're going to want to do a class. Don't let them teach a class. You teach the class.
Okay,
If
yeah.
you're doing a stranger danger, but stranger danger is not working anymore. The fun is they want, because you're wanting your students to bring their friends. So you want it to be fun. Now with the adults, we do a self-defense. We'll do self-defense. We'll do different shooting scenarios, knife. We'll do stuff like that
How often do you do that?
once a quarter.
Once a quarter.
Yeah.
For once a quarter, you'll do one for kids and one for adults, or one
Yeah.
quarter you'll do adults and the next quarter you do kids.
No, same time. We'll do them at the same. My facility's big, so same time.
So literally same day you're doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the kids were over having fun. Mom was taking a self-defense class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you allow your members to go to this, or these are all new people, or
If they bring a friend.
okay. So
Yeah.
they
So we
have
just had
yeah.
we just had a wine and glass class. So it was a special class. If you brought a friend, you got a wine glass with our logo on it. And then we have a winery that'll let us sample wines. And then we have Dad's Beat Down. They get a beer mug.
Hmm. Dad's beat down. What is a dad's beat down?
They come in, they do a martial arts class with their kids. Then we separate them and have the men do it with just themselves. So we'll have them hold mitts, and that's so we always do a kid and me class. And then for our adults, it's just they come in, do a class. If you bring a friend, you get the beer mug with the logo on it.
All right. So if you're an existing student and you bring a friend, you
Yes.
get it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. I like that sort of thing. So it's once a quarter. So basically 4 times a year.
Yeah. But like now we did a Mother's Day and we'll do Father's Day because they're,
Hmm.
one's in May, one's in June.
Hmm.
We get signups off Mother's Day. We get a few off Father's, but not a lot. Um, as far as the kids go, but the adults, we end up getting signups.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we keep them separate. One's really adult because we'll actually have beer. I mean, they got a beer mug. Just don't let them get drunk.
Yeah, I don't do
Yeah.
it's a personal thing. I don't do any
No,
events with alcohol at my school.
that's fine. It's
Um,
limited. They only get a little sample. And
yeah,
as
well,
one of our
no, I
students
mean
works
it
for the
works.
distributor.
I've seen it. Like
Yeah.
it's one way. Sure. I just try to not go that route, right?
Yeah. Because
But
in the kids, there is no, like in the mommy and me and the dad and me, there is no alcohol.
yeah,
They just get the glass. Yeah.
we could do a coffee mug or something.
Could be. Coffee mug's a good idea. Yeah. If you don't drink, coffee mug's a good idea. Shoot, we're in Colorado. It's something else.
So that's you have any other types of events you do like that? Do you do a bunch of birthdays for kids? Is that a
Yeah, we do it.
repeated thing for
Yeah.
you? Or
Yeah, it's in there. We do. So when somebody signs up, we do one for free.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So
So so
it's a retention thing.
just the first year they sign up.
Just first year, they get a free one. Because general will get 2 to 5 signups off a birthday.
Hmm.
So we do it for free. When they sign up, it's included. Our birthday parties are normally they get the lower one because our birthday parties run 199 to 599. So we give them the
What's
lower one for free.
what's the difference in the lower and higher ones?
What they get more depending what they want. Like we have a ninja one, so everybody gets a lightsaber. Just depends which one they want.
So everybody gets a lightsaber in that one?
Mhm.
And to
Yeah,
keep? Oh, that
yeah,
sounds more expensive. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It gets there. Yeah. So it costs a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the fun stuff for the kids is something that like a lot of jujitsu schools, sure, jujitsu is fun, but like this extra stuff, keeping everything fun is huge. And sometimes we forget what fun is, I guess. Uh,
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, martial arts are fun. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, even a good day, even a bad day at jujitsu is better than a good day at work. Okay,
Yeah.
well, sure, but for kids, maybe we've forgotten what we need to deliver here.
And it gives them another reason to come to your school,
Yeah,
you know, and you want them there at the school. The more they're there, you know, the longer you're going to keep them. You know, and if they have friends there, they're going to stay.
yeah.
So when they don't have friends is when you're going to lose them. Even with the adults, the sooner they bond with somebody, the better. Yeah.
How much is a bump and jump? I haven't looked at it in a long time. It's expensive.
So it was $50, but I think it's 100 now. I think
What
it's
do you
gone up
mean?
to $100 for the 4 hours.
Oh, so you're saying bring them to a second? Oh, you're
We
renting.
ran them. They ran them and bring them. I know people have bought them. I haven't bought them.
Oh,
Just
I
ran.
know some martial arts schools, quite a
Yeah,
few that bought them.
yeah,
So it's $50 or $100 for 4 hours. I actually
yeah,
like that way better
yeah.
than make, and
I
then
don't.
you do it a bunch, then you think about if you want to buy it.
Yeah, because
But
the thing is huge and storing it.
yeah,
Yeah,
so that's the
yeah,
thing is same reason like when Red Belt offers web services and whatever, it's like, yes, it's the professionals doing it, but another thing is like, man, it's not that much for you to not deal with it. So I'm
yeah,
thinking the same thing with like, okay, even if I can make sense of buying it, if somebody else, I assume they're going to come, they're going to inflate it for me.
they
They're going to
inflate it.
like, they're going to handle this. They're going to put it away for me. They're
Yep,
going to store it. If it breaks in storage or dry rots or whatever, that's their problem.
it's there. It's
Right.
not my problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
for the cost for that to not be my problem
yeah,
sounds right. Right.
yeah,
Because I don't want that to be my problem. And I'm
yeah,
willing to pay somebody else can make that money and be in that
yeah.
business. No, I like
So
that lots.
it's awesome, and we ran them quite a bit, but I still don't want to
No,
worry about
I'm
upkeep.
all about, yeah, let
And
somebody else make money.
you can bring a different bump and jump in. They've got
I like
a bunch
that.
of them. Like we have our end of summer party. And so our referral contest, if you brought a friend in, you get to put your name in to dunk the instructor. So we have a dunk tank. So they bring the dunk tape and you get to throw and try to dunk your instructor. That they want that more than they want a prize. Those kids want to dunk their instructor.
Yeah. What do you have your own little dunking booth or you get that
No,
brought in too?
we ran it. Got to
Where,
store
where
that
do
stuff.
where do you go to rent all this stuff? You Google it or
Yeah, Google bump and jump.
at the bump and jump people are gonna have the
Yeah,
they're
they
gonna
got
have
all
the
that
same
stuff.
thing. They're gonna have
They
all
got
the things.
yeah,
And all
yeah,
that set up outside or it's
yeah.
inside or
Set
outside
up outside. Yeah.
in
So
like the
what we
parking
have,
lot or like
yeah, it's in our parking lot, but in our parking lot, we have a caged in outdoor area for working out. So they set up in there.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of good ideas there. And
And you
I
got to
don't
have,
know,
with a bump and jump, somebody has to be there watching the bump and jump though, because kids get crazy.
of
You know,
course.
don't let 80 kids in the bump and jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why I thought that I had to buy it to be able to have, because I've seen other people do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
why buy it? Let somebody
Yeah.
else deal with that.
Yeah.
Do
Let
you,
somebody else deal with it and you can get a different one each time. You
yeah,
know,
do you do anything other than those? I've heard of like video game trucks and different things. Have you tried anything else like that? Or
long,
what you like,
long time ago, we had they sold the video games. They came in and set up some games. They used to sell them, GameStop, but
hmm
that was a long time ago. We haven't done a game truck in a while. It's a good idea though, you know. But the problem is you can only have so many in the game. And how long does it take to play a game? Or the bump and jump, we have it 3 minutes, boom, oh, you're out, next group in.
yeah.
Go get ice cream. And we have Cold Stones are members of ours, so they give free ice cream. You
Yeah.
know,
So, yeah, I mean, that sounds like a blast. So in total with, you have all that stuff going on in total, what would doing one of those cost you probably?
couple hundred.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So, but
not
between
expensive.
furnishing ice cream there and
It's
giving
ice
stuff,
cream's free.
oh, you just made a deal that,
All I'm paying is for the bump and jump.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking that I would probably have to buy ice cream.
And we cancel classes, so it's during a class time. So if it's on Saturday, we normally have classes. When we have these events, we cancel classes because We make a big deal out of it.
And it's so you would heavily advertise this event
No,
in the
it's
community.
it's it's in-house.
Oh, so
Getting
you
you to getting you to bring friends. Open house we advertise. This is it's in-house. Getting you to bring friends.
okay? So the only way you can come is if you bring a friend.
Now they can come without, but we push bringing a friend.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Because
Because
people
it's
are run.
kids.
So
Yeah,
it's also a retention event,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
um, but you can bring up to how many friends? As many as you want.
Many as you want, but we're lucky if they bring one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Times have changed. Kids are different. So when I started my martial arts school, we had huge referrals because they wanted their friends to come. Kids now don't have friends. They're on this. So now the parents are bringing them to us to find friends. So that's changed. The market's changed. So we don't have the amount of people we used to have, but we're still getting 20, 30, leads from it. So
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like there'll be great leads and it'll be a great thing. So it's like, um, basically there's a class first and everybody has to do the class.
yep,
Um, and potentially you'll do different waves of classes so people come at
yep,
different times.
yep, different ages. Yeah.
And then they're just kind of free to move around different
Yep. They
attractions.
get stamped, they can go outside.
Get
And we'll hit
stamped. So that
yep,
means that there's a detail. So the stamp means you're allowed to go outside and do the things.
yep,
And the stamp is to make sure you've done the class.
yep,
Gotcha. I like that. I like that a lot. And
yep.
if you do a birthday party, is it also like that you bring the bump and jump? All this basically it's something like this, or they get
No, we don't have no bump and jumps in the birthday party. No, we'll do a ninja party. The most popular is the lightsaber party. You know, and then we've done a Barbie party for a girl.
okay. So Ninja, Lightsaber, or Barbie is the
Or,
choices.
or the free one's a martial arts party. It's just a fun martial arts class.
All right. So
You
that
gotta
that's
have
good.
you gotta have martial arts in there because you're giving these kids 2 free weeks. So the birthday boy gets to break a board. We get them cheap ass boards that break if you look at them wrong.
Mhm.
Then you make a promise. Hey, I promise every one of you can break a board. As soon as they leave, you get on the phone. Hey Brian, man, I promised your son he could break a board. We ran out of time. Can you bring him to class at this time to come break a board?
Yeah.
Then that ups your show rate. And then they'll say, hey, did he promise you could break a board? Yeah, I promised. All you guys get to break a board. I do the same thing when we go to school talks. So we go to schools and do talks all the time. So we'll pick a kid to break, and we don't break boards.
Yeah.
I'm not a Taekwondo school, but if you do jujitsu, have the teacher break the board, have the kid break the board. Those kids are going to want to show. And then at the end, I do what we call the magic backpack. All right, guys, the first 5 people who call, I'm going to give you this free gi.
Mhm.
And the phone starts ringing right after class. I got a call. I got a call. And you give them the passes. If the school lets you in, it's hard to get in schools now, depending where
Okay.
you live. Depending where you live. We were in pre-COVID, we were in all the schools. We are just now finally starting to get back into the schools. So we'll go be gym teacher for a day, bully month, we go in and do a bully thing, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's with the talk about like different strategies for referrals and events and retention here, we started getting into a lot of stuff. Like this could be rewatched, I think.
Yeah, it's a
That
lot.
that's yeah, it's a
But
lot.
don't overwhelm yourself,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. I have a staff. I mean, I've got 14 employees.
Well, even with the staff, it's like implement, take a thing and do one thing.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
Go rewatch it, find a new thing, implement a
yeah,
thing. Um,
yeah,
yeah, uh, for sure. But there's like I really would like to. So we do really good with being at events out in the community, and we do some parties and like we do some events at the school. We don't do events, especially for kids, like you're talking about, and for your adult events, um, you have the alcohol there, but like, you got any ideas with
Yeah.
no alcohol for adult events?
Still do the same thing, do different self-defense themes things, but then you want to have fun stuff with him too. Like we went and watched the Super Bowl, but again, we went to a bar.
Well, I'm okay going to Buffalo Wild
Yeah,
Wings, right?
yeah,
There
yeah,
is difference between we go to Buffalo Wild Wings and you choose to order the beer,
yeah,
than me provide you beer at
yeah,
my facility.
yeah. You got to watch it because you gotta, they only get a taste. And we have a distributor. So he shows up with, and he pours a little into each glass. It's not me doing it, it's the distributor doing it.
Mhm.
So we have a distributor come in.
So
But I don't
super.
know. I mean, just do the same things. I think once a quarter, do a themed class, bring a friend. And I don't think it even has to be on a weekend. I mean, we'll do them. Hey, tonight we're doing knife stuff. Bring a friend, push it that
Knife,
way.
knife stuff. Is knife stuff normally in your curriculum though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think. I'm like, how could I, other than just a class? So I have a pretty good understanding with a bump and jump, with some ice cream, with a video game trial, like how you could make like the carnival style thing for kids, but how do you do it for adults? Especially if I don't want alcohol there. I mean, I could do food. Same thing, but you gonna stamp the hand of the adults?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's
You do?
different. And no, no. They just come in. It's real light, nobody's serious. Do class and then come in. We'll do buddy days, themed buddy days, in the kickboxing class. Like we did a James Bond day where they had to come dressed like a Bond villain. And they'll theme those and they come up with those. But those are bring buddy days. And then we'll do where we go buy a bunch of scratch off lotto tickets and we put them under a bag. And then if they bring a friend, okay, guys, look under your bag, grab your lotto ticket.
So you
We've never
just
had anybody win any money though. Like $10 maybe the most.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, but you're just buying the state lotto tickets,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not
But
making your own
yeah,
scratch off.
if you have like a fitness kickboxing and you have women are more involved than men. And we have a fairly big fitness kickboxing class. So we have buddy days with those that are themed. We used to do a lot. Like pre-COVID, we did one a month. And now that we're talking about it, I'm going, I need to get back on doing that. And we theme them
So how often you do a buddy day? Once a month?
once a month.
And how like is that like the first Friday of a month? How does that work? Is it a
Usually
certain
the
day?
third week of the month. Third week of
Or
the month, and we'll do it on a Wednesday, Thursday, because those aren't curriculum days. Monday, Tuesday, we cover curriculum. Wednesday, Thursday is more like sparring drills, partner drills.
so you're gonna do it during class,
Yeah,
and you're doing like some sort of themed fun thing where you bring in a buddy.
yeah,
And you
yeah.
can, if you wanted, could you bring in the same buddy that doesn't sign up once a month, every month?
A lot do, yes.
Okay, so that's allowed.
Yes. It
And
sucks, but yes.
and it doesn't bother you that that goes on. That's just like,
It does bother me, but what do you do? It's his
well,
only
you
friend.
could say it
It's
has
her
to be a
only
new
friend.
buddy. You could say it has to be a
You
new
could say
buddy,
that. Yeah, I mean,
or
that's a good idea.
or
Yeah,
maximum of two times, three times.
yeah,
Because I personally wouldn't mind seeing somebody back again.
yeah.
It's just if you really came every time, it's like, hey, find a new.
Well, and if they came in, they should be getting stuff. They should be in your funnel,
Yeah,
so you should be nurturing them. And it might take, I mean, we've had people that I met 2 years ago now come in and sign up.
sure.
Just staying in contact, nurturing them. But I mean, if I said you couldn't come anymore,
Yeah, I can see how it's better that it's like, okay, to
yeah. But
the handful of outliers that are just getting a little extra out of it for no
yeah,
reason, being a little bit of a pain, just don't worry about, so that we don't inconvenience the rest of the
yeah,
population that's actually decent.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
we actually did lightsaber nights with the adults once. See, I just thought, pre-COVID, we had stuff every month. COVID messed me up on all my stuff. They love the lightsaber. Shut the lights off and they beat the crap out of each other.
yeah, so that's basically all there is to it, is there's not much instruction or whatever. So I
No, we
already
teach, we
know,
teach, we teach some drills.
okay.
Yeah,
I know people I have students in like Saber Guild, things like that, that
Yeah,
are like about it. Of
yeah.
course, that stuff
Well,
has rules and
I've
stuff.
won the Cold Steel Challenge in the world in sword fighting and knife fighting multiple times. So we do drills, and then we won't let them spar with the lightsaber. We have padded. We'll even get pool noodles out, and they beat at you with pool noodles, or we have
Okay.
padded sticks. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So then you do some drills with a lightsaber. Um,
Hmm.
so do you have a gym set of lightsabers basically?
Yeah, we had one of our black belts got married, and his theme was um, Star Wars, and he bought 150 lightsabers that he donated to the school,
Oh, awesome. That
and
was
they're expensive ones. It's
yeah, a lot of those are like 100 and something a piece if you
yeah,
get the real nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He paid some money for them, and he donated them to the school. So we have a whole bunch of them. Yeah, but
So
with
you
the
do that.
kids, we get the cheapies because they take them home. They
Okay.
don't. We don't give those ones away.
How much is a cheapie?
You can find them for $10.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not expensive. Yeah, they break. But yeah, they're not expensive.
Yeah, just like the glowy little thing. I guess I had something, not really a lightsaber, but I had something that glue in the dark that
Yeah,
you could wave around as a kid. I don't
yeah,
remember what it
it's
was like,
exactly
but I
what it
had
is. Yeah,
something.
yeah, it's exactly what it is.
All right. Well, this was had a lot of good stuff in it, and we're at about an hour. Do you have any like closing thoughts or anything like that?
Um, Again, watch your numbers. You know, how set numbers and have a way. I mean, it's real easy to set. I'm going to get 25 signups, but how are you? You got to break down. I'm going to get 5 from here. You know, you have to break that down, and then look at your marketing systems. I mean, you've got new students, you've got upgrades, you got to have an upgrade system in place. You got to have retail, and you need to rotate your retail. We did really well with every year we do. So we've done Year of the Dragon, Year of the Rabbit. This year was Year of the Dragon. We sold 160 Year of the Dragon shirts. We do a pre-sale, and then we have our summer outfit coming out now. Events. So you got to have paid events and free events. And what's the last one? There's 5 profit centers. Retention. Retention's a profit center, and you can't forget that. So you need like those 5 profit centers, and
What are
you
the
got to
five
think about
again,
them
real
every
quick?
month.
What?
New students, upgrades. I got them written over here. Retail, and you don't need a big retail section. We do like when we do T-shirts. This is what we're doing. It's a pre-sale. Events, and then retention. And what do do retention events? That could be the glow weapon thing or whatever. So some overlap. Some are new students and retention.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, with events, the main way they make money though is like getting you new students, right?
Generally, yes, but some are paid. Sometimes for the community. When I do an active shooter course, I charge for it
Okay.
because I don't get a lot of students off it. So I charge for it. Women's self-defense, don't get a lot of students off it. I really don't charge for it. No, then give them all a free month.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can bundle a month because they won't do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So it depends on certain events, if we've done them and we know we'll get a bunch of people, but we don't get a lot of students, we charge. Yeah. Any gun thing, it's that's a different person,
Uh-huh.
So most of them don't, they think I'm not gonna grab or roll around with somebody. I'm not gonna punch kick. I'm just gonna shoot them.
Hmm.
They got that mentality.
Yeah.
So charge. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you charge?
It depends on the event, anywhere from 30 to $150.
Okay. And with I was gonna ask when you said the year of the dragon, you just make that up or you take it off the Chinese New Year or something?
Chinese New Year. We
Okay.
started with the Year of the Tiger, and it went nuts. So then I paid $100, and the guy designs a shirt, and then you can only get it beginning of the year, and then we just
Beginning
do
of the
some
Chinese year or the actual year?
our year.
Okay.
We start selling them in January. We order them the end, they get them in February,
Okay, and then you can only get them in
and
you
they're gone.
have to pre-sell them. You have to
Yeah,
pre-order them and they're t-shirts.
yeah. We'll do
Eh,
t-shirt. They can get a t-shirt, tank top,
sweatshirt. They can get what they want. But
So
that's it.
not training gear like rash guards, fight
No.
shorts.
Well, you could, but we don't. No, we don't.
So, and what do you charge for that t-shirt?
30 depends on the shirt, but 30 to 35. Like if they get one of the whisking ones, they're more. Normal t-shirts 30. I think they cost us $6.
And is it like supplemented? Is it
It's some kind of new thing.
okay.
It used to be silk screened. I don't think it's sublimation, but it's put into the fabric somehow. Some
'Cause,
kind of
like,
new thing.
that's a school t-shirt. It's basically
Yes.
the logo, and like
Yeah.
we give those out.
Yes, we have a white one we give out to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then these are generally black. It's got our symbol and it's got a cool dragon on it. Our other ones we had a rabbit. The rabbit was harder to come up with, but we got a rabbit and a gi.
So people will pay 30 for a t-shirt, even though it's just
Especially
a t-shirt.
Especially t-shirts, yes. But make them don't, you can get nice t-shirts for $6.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you can get I think it's Next Generation or something. They have a really nice feel to them, or you can
Yeah.
get dry fit or what like. And
Yeah.
those I wasn't able to get for $6 or any.
No, the dry fit costs more, so you charge more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't mind paying 12 or
They
even
want
more for
yeah, the
something
dry
if I'm gonna get $30 for it.
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and I think the dry fits we were selling for like $36. So yeah, and we sold more of the dry fits than anything. Everybody wants that.
Well, everybody, if you're actually buying something to wear it, you
Yeah.
want something you like that's comfortable.
Yeah.
And
And so you should like every quarter have something. Like we just did shorts and shirts for the summer. Kids don't have to wear their gi. Monday, Tuesday, they're supposed to wear gis. Now,
well,
summer,
we're a no-gi school, so we have an
Yeah.
opportunity there
yeah, yeah,
for all sorts of stuff. And we have a lot of gear, but we end up not we usually I try and carry it. So instead of pre-ordering it, we end up not selling it all in big batches. We trickle it out. I don't really
Mhm.
like that. I would rather like what you're saying, do an exclusive thing and sell
Yeah.
it out and not carry gear for so long. Just like do it.
yeah.
And
I mean, you gotta have,
some gear you got to carry, like
you got,
protect.
I have to have gloves. I have to have shin pads, but then
Yeah.
we'll do upgraded gloves. And you'll be surprised the people that'll pay them damn Hayabusa Marvel gloves.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
You have your logo on the gloves, or you don't worry about that.
You should, but we don't know. You should. Something I've never done.
Yeah.
But
I got logos on the gloves,
you should.
on
Yeah,
all
you
the
should.
gear, shin guards, everything. I pay
Yeah, you
extra.
should. Yeah, you should. Because then they have to buy your gear. I
Mhm.
mean, it's something I should do. Yeah.
Well, I
You want
still
them-
have like it's a rough conversation, right? So I still am not successful with everybody using my gear. A lot of people are. So you get in my program when you do the down payment, if you're doing kickboxing, you get the cheap gloves for free. So
That's how
you
we do
have
it.
my gear, but then people like they see something online that's I guess is better marketing than me, and they'll go buy gloves that are more expensive and worse than what I have for sale because
Yeah.
it's cool or whatever. And like so I have
Yeah.
and we like unless
Yeah.
it's super dangerous, I don't hardly have the heart to tell them that they can't that they
As
have.
long as long
Yeah.
as they're paying you, it's not worth the conversation, you know?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like it's like I
Yeah.
would love people for branding purposes, especially since we're no-gi and whatever. I'd love to see most people in the team gear. It's great for team spirit.
Yep.
It's good for them to like, but you know, I am not successful at 100%.
No,
Of
our kids
that.
are. Our kids
Yeah.
are 100% have to be in our logo. Adults,
I do think
just-
that's different.
yeah, with adults, we try to push it, but again, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
All right. Well, if somebody wants to follow you, reach you, see anything you're doing online, how might they be able to accomplish that?
Find me on Facebook.
All right. So
Find me on Facebook. My Gmail is Mars of Colorado at gmail.com.
and
so,
you're
yeah.
Troy Miller on Facebook.
Yeah, Troy Miller.
And okay.
Yeah.
And
And then if anybody has any questions, reach out. It's how I grew was asking, and I would love to help anybody.
Awesome. This was great. Thanks so much, man. I'll go ahead and call it a day. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.